Well, here I am in Indianapolis with the sweetheart of the blues up there nestled in her pilot seat. And look what we got. Oh, this is a new video. I can just see it happening. Alright, I just got back from Indianapolis, and this came to me from the hinterlands of Kentucky. Late 30s Gibson EH-185. I took a chance on this one. No idea what lurks inside, but I do have an idea. Look at that. Beautiful hemp. That is all original handle. This thing's in nice shape. It's missing a couple of the leather corners, but it's also got a couple of leather corners still. I'm going to go all over this thing, and I'm going to restore this, and I'm going to love him and pet him and squeeze him and call him George. Alright, here's a shot of the back. Racing stripe. Looks like someone was remodeling and missed. Let's pop this jewel open, as Uncle Todd would say. Here's the inside of the top. The wallpaper. I might be able to actually glue some of that wallpaper. If I use water and get that wet, I might be able to get some of that wallpaper back in place. Here's the front, or rather the rear, depending on how you look at it. Look at that serial number. That's really close to the one I already have. And it says 150, even though this is a 185. It's the older one with the two tone controls, echo speaker, gratuitous tape, and it's got the grill intact. Nice. Missing a couple bolts, no biggie. I'm gonna pop this out and take a look inside. Alright, a look inside reveals what looks like to me the original speaker, which was a roll-up. But look at this. I think this might be past its expiration date, this cable. I'm not sure, but I'm going to leave all the connections. Looks like some Gorilla Glue droppings in there. Yeah. Wow. You may have recalled my last video, for those of you that were the die-hard, ardent followers, all 67 of you. Here's some non-originality here. I don't think that's original, that screw. And I got rid of my nice fuse to John, a Hagerty. I knew I'd need that someday, but they sell them on eBay. I'll get another one. That one may still function, but it's pretty hammered. But I love this back cover. It's all there. Let's just get it open and see what's inside. Holy crap. It's missing one. It's missing one tube. And yeah, it's the 5U4. Wow, these look like original. Looks like they've added capacitors there. I'm not sure. I have to look at the schematic. I don't think those are original. I think that one's not original. That one might be original. I haven't seen one that's never been worked on before, so not sure. The iron. The iron looks original to me. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Great leaping googly mooglies. I just don't know. I think that one there and that, in other words, I think that's not original, those caps there. I don't think this is original. This, that looks like it might be original. Jeez, look at that. I think these are all original. And great leaping horny toads. That's the biggest, oops, I can do this. That's the biggest ballast resistor I've seen. And we got some, we got this. I think there's a date code on here. I don't think this is original, but this was like in the 50s. This was replaced, I believe. Mini-mite. No date code. That looks 50s to me. But hey, what do I know? You probably can't see it, but the pilot lights flapping in the breeze. These are, I have another one just like this, and these are hard to get down in there to work on these. Nevertheless, we're going to recap it. Man, those are sweet. I might do my famous recap job where I used to save those old cap covers. These wax caps, man, I'm gonna have to replace those. But geez, what a gorgeous piece of work, huh? All right, look at that AC cord. I think that's not original. Wow, nice. This is a good platform here to start from. Oh yeah. As an added bonus, I got an RCA 6L6 GC black plate with this amp, and look what it tests like. Ooh, that's a strong ass tube right there. Holy stuff. This amp has the 6J7 in the first 3 preamp tubes, and once again, this is an obsolete tube, but fortunately, thanks to the internet, I have a 6J7 settings for my Hickok. Hopefully, this first one I test is an indication of how the others will test, which is totally good and usable. Nice. So fantastic news. All the tubes test nice and strong, which tells me that there was no catastrophic failure, hopefully. Possibly no catastrophic failures. I don't see any melted parts here, So far, so good. Shades of John Hagerty. This speaker, I hate to say it, it looks good. I mean, it really looks like it'll function. I'm gonna rubber cement it. Keep my fingers crossed. When I say rubber cement, I mean contact cement a la Uncle Doug to strengthen his surround. Man, I don't know if it's shot. I have to listen to it. Give it a little closer look. Look at that dust snake was wrapped around the bottom of the speaker. Just like John Hagerty's that I'm just having deja vu. I just restored his and had the same thing. His speaker didn't need reconing either. I tell you, I'm gonna bite the bullet and get this reconed. It's a little bit when you move the speaker. It's just a little rub, but the sides are so brittle. This is the original cone. I want this to be a working amp. I want Adrianna Marie and her Groovecutters to have this on stage without worrying about anything. So we're gonna get this over to my friend Theo at Midwest Speakers. This is like the only marking you can find on this thing, 12F32. I don't know. I'm gonna search on the internet and see about that. Well, I decided to replace this one. This works, but it's gonna fail on a gig. I don't want that. I could buy another one just like it, but I got this cool upgrade, so I'm gonna put that in there. Good news is, it's a 3 amps low below fuse that was in there, so probably nothing failed. And the hits keep coming. Alright, well, step one has been to get the pilot light assembly. You can't really see it, but there it is. Get the pilot light assembly tightened down. 3-way cord soldered right to the chassis. Black wire going over to the fuse, and from the fuse back to the switch, and then to the transformer, and then the white wire going to the transformer. So I'm going to plug it in. Actually, and I got it plugged into my current limiter and my variac. I'm going to fire it up. Alright, got my AC cord going in there, got it on. It's going to my current limiter, and I'm going to just dial it up on the variac. It's plugged in and on, and here we go. I'm just got it up to about 30 volts. We're getting a little glow there where we want it, and not here where we don't want it. So, and we're cranking it up to like 60, 70, 80, 90, no glow, 100, let's just go up to 120, very nice, no glow. Step one, looks good. Alright, time to shut it down. Good, power switch works nice. That's not the original switch, by the way, but works great. Looks like it was replaced in the 50s. Alright, onward. Onward. Next step is I'm going to replace all these bypass and coupling caps with new stuff. In the case of the coupling caps, I'm going to use some new old stock stuff. By the way, whoever installed that Black Beauty there, I hope when you die you come back as a, I don't know. I mean, how do you know what it is? Don't worry, trust the science. Also, with these are just so damn cool that I'm gonna save the outer cap. Sorry. I'm gonna save this outer casing and sneak the new smaller one inside there, like Uncle Doug did in one video, and I did it in a video you may have watched with my super reverb restoration. Hey, call me crazy, it just titillates my sensibility, alright? Just leave me alone. So this one cap all the way to the left, which looks like these other two, has one of these hidden inside it now. The 3K resistor was way out of spec, so I have the closest. I don't have a 3, so I got a 3.3. We're kind of a close substitution there, and now I'm going to do the rest of these caps. Turn that Black Beauty around so I can see it, and we can all see it. Okay, so I'm waiting for some 3K resistors, and I've removed this old cap can, and I'm going to put the new one in, but I have to drill it using this. Just make it a little bigger, that hole. But it's not going to be original, they say. Look. My Giva censored all went that way. And there it's going to go. As close as I can get it in there. But you drilled some holes where there weren't holes. This hole was there, and I'm pretty sure that's not factory. And as I said before, there goes my Giva. Beep! More progress. I've got that bolted down there nicely, and I've restored 2 stealth capacitors in there, and the third one's in progress. So onward. Before I say onward, however, though, I tested this one. Some of them were out of spec. This one was in spec. It was at 3.2, so I'm going to use it because, man, high on the titillation meter. Alright, we got some progress going on here. Whoop. Fender friendly. Anyways, I've seen a couple of different schematics here. This was at a 0.01 here, and the 2 schematics I looked at, one of them says 0.001 and another one says 0.003, and then I saw a 0.2 in there. So I thought we'd try that, a 0.25. Maybe that's a good compromise. We'll see. Can always change it later. And next thing, was this trip really necessary? I'm ditching that and put 100K in there per schematic. Whoop. Okay, removed one. Look at this. This is like an epidemic. Glob it on there. Yeah, just glob on there plenty of solder. That'll hold it. And it did hold it for a while. Okay. Here it is. There was a I think it was a 54K resistor here. It was measuring like 80. And I'm not sure. I'm looking at the schematic. I'm seeing different things here. So I'm going to try 100K there and there. Now to get rid of these leaky wax caps here. They sure are cool, but this thing's going to run cooler without them. How about that for a nice bypass cap? A nice orange drop. Just kidding. How about that? Huh? Nice TRW. Ha 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 ha. As long as I'm in here, I'm gonna ditch that. That's supposed to be 100K and it's a 160, so I'm gonna put a little bit newer cap in there. It's nice, about 105, 110. Okay, I got one wired in there. And I replaced, you can't even see, there was a wire that was broke off on the terminal down below there. The terminal broke, bottom part. So I fixed that. That green wire's not original, but it was added so long ago. It kind of blends in. So I'm just gonna leave it for now. And I was wondering, you know, this hole here. I saw another. I wonder if that was a thing. Because I saw another one with the same original cap. This. I saw another one online with this cap in there, and someone had chewed a hole in here to add another cap. I don't know. I can't believe Gibson did that, but that's two I've seen with the exact same lab rat chewing a hole in the chassis to add another filter cap in there. I don't know why they didn't just go with a 4 cap can, but hey, what do I know? Anyways, onward. I think it's safe to say this is not original. Trying to figure this out. Pin 3. The hell. Nice freaking ground. This is what I'm wondering about here. Five connectors. Oh, and here's the schematic. Last one up, the bias. All right, and there's the new cap nestled in there. Now, I know you go, oh, look at that sloppy. No, I left it sloppy on purpose, critics, because I may want to adjust the cathode bias by changing that resistor. So that's why I left it a little bit sloppy for ease of removal. Now to decipher this mess. Look what I got in the mail. No, not that. This. An original cord for my 185. Thanks, Dwayne. Wow, this is not the same connector that I had, but I can adapt
yeah, I'm
it.
gonna save the bags for the dog.
Okay, this looks a lot better with that mess out of there. That mess, I believe, was part of the filter cap, an attempt to filter the AC. But it was after I installed all my new cap can, it seemed that it was redundant after looking at the schematic. So I just checked it all out, ripped it out, and we'll see once I go to fire it up what I need to troubleshoot. Alrighty. Got my speaker back from Theo, and here's the connections I have to deal with. I got 4 connections, it looks like. 2 going to the speaker, looks like this one and this one, and well, and 2 to the field coil. So now to decipher which way is where on the amplifier end. As always, Theo at Midwest Speakers work is completely impeccable. No pecks allowed at all on this. Nice attention to detail here. Theo looks great. So I've been struggling with the way this field coil is set up as it relates to this amplifier. And this doesn't make sense to me. Alright? It just doesn't seem like the best way to do this. I'd have to have looks to me like I have to have a floating first electrolytic filter cap here, and this is supposed to be just an inductor for filtering, which would work, but it would work more commonly seen up here. So, and I've seen it on another EH185 schematic where it's wired up here to the 2 positives rather than negative, and this is going to ground. I don't know. Anyways, I am gonna show you a couple of schematics and then make an executive decision from there onward. So after much tearing of hair and gnashing of teeth, I have decided to ditch the early 185 schematic for the field coil. I've found several examples of this where the positive is connected to the field coil on either side, and then continuing on, the B plus goes right on through. And I don't know if that's a mistake on that early one. This is from a EH185, different preamp, but of course they only made these until about 1941 or 2, so and then this is a 150, sorry, a 125, and same thing, field coil on the positive side of the caps. I also found a 150 that was wired like these two here, and I am so fortunate to belong to the Gibson tube amp users group. I can't remember the fellow's name who did this layout of the 150, which explains the pin layout of the connecting umbilical cord. Not the neatest, but very nicely done. So I'm going to use that for the umbilical cord wiring. Onward. The result of more teeth gnashing. So I've got the power supply correctly wired, I do believe, going to the jack and then out to the field coil. My speaker was causing something to short out, not the field coil part, but the actual speaker part. So here's what I got. So we got your B plus comes out of here. It goes over to the first cap, back to, I have it on pin number 2 and 5. Goes out to the field coil, comes back to pin 3, goes to this nice big ass resistor, and from there it goes and energizes pin 4 and goes back to the second cap, and from there it also energizes the third cap, which is hooked up there, and then the fourth cap is over here going off to these preamp tubes. I'm pretty sure that's correct, but time will tell. Right now I got it, I can turn it on. I got nice high voltage going to all the caps coming off of that rectum fryer, and yeah, I put red here wire, which kind of stands out, but I kind of like it because it's showing the B plus for future do-it-yourselfers. Alrighty. Okay, after the usual gnashing of teeth, I checked all the voltages and they're all normal. I've got this speaker hot wired, and I've got my signal generator plugged in. I'm just gonna, I got it in my current limiter and my variac, and I'm just gonna take the horn by the bulls, or and fire it up. So here we go. Turning on the variac. I got my speaker hooked up, and I'm just gonna kind of turn it up. We got about 50 volts. It's glowing faintly. 50, about 70 volts. Should be glowing now. Yes, it's glowing. Got it up to 100, 110. And got some current flow. The volume is barely turned up, and that amp is working. Let's see if we... Yep. Contact, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the mic channel's doing. Here goes the mic channel. The mic channel is like... Of course, the speaker is muffled like crazy. I'm gonna plug a guitar in and see what it sounds like. But I'm waiting on the cover that I ordered, and that's drawing some current, which I've seen is semi-normal for these things, but I'm going to check the bias and everything. But I'm waiting for a generic speaker cover to cover this all up, and also I ordered a Leslie male and female plug to hook this all together so it's safe. Alright, this looks pretty good on a Wednesday morning after my birthday, my 65th birthday. Very nice. And the gnashing of the teeth goes on. And I know what you're thinking. That's tight bond, you rotten kids. It's been a frenzy around here. Anyways, I've been plagued with... or rather, someone asked me if my amp is suffering from distortion and low volume, and I said, what else are you going to do but suffer with low volume and distortion? Anyways, I was examining the circuit, and I noticed this, which I ignored. This and this is not the same as this and this, or rather this and this. I got 100 and I think that's, I forget what that is, but it's definitely higher than 50. I'll double check that, but that is probably part of the problem. So I'm going to change those out and give it another listen. Small correction, of course. This is correct, 50K. This is not. It's the corrected schematic says 25K, so this is 100K, and that's why I'm only getting 80 volts here instead of well over 135. Probably like 150 is what I want here with the modern line voltage. So I'm going to swap that out and see if it changes anything. I bet it does. Yeah, so it's better. More tolerable, but still not where it should be. But I definitely got one problem out of the way there. That's an improvement. Onward. One more time before I put this cool bell that I got from Amplified Parts in Arizona. One more time. The red wire goes to one side of the electromagnet, and the other side of the electromagnet goes to the green and the yellow, or brownish yellow. And then the two sides of the speaker coil go to the yellow white-ish, brownish, and black. Alright, so now I'm going to install this bell. Well, this is about as good as I can do with modern materials. Got the grommet, I got a zip tie on the other side to keep it steady. And yeah, glad this isn't a customer's. When I had it clamped up, gluing the foam on the inside, it dropped on my garage floor, dinging up that nice brack crinker paint. Oh well, makes it look old. I can clean this up. That's a little bit of grue on there. Onward. Well, I'm not a huge fan of this compute bias because it seems to always be malfunctioning. But I thought I'd give it a shot here just to see what everything's doing, if they even work. Let's give it a try. I'm just going to crank it on here. There it goes. Got the speaker hooked up. Looks like that plate voltage is up there. Ah, the plate voltage is dropping. Jeez. You know, it looks like that's really where it should be. If you look at a 6L6, I have the 6L6 Gay, thanks to my pal Bill Odell, who is the acme of patience. It says 8 to 13 watts. I've got 9, like 10 watts each. It's freaking perfect. So I'm not messing with the bias anymore. Look at that. It's like a perfect match, 10 watts each. Flickering around a little bit, but that's really, that's where it's supposed to be. I'm going to plug it in, listen one more time, and then see if I can figure out why it's kind of weak and distorted. But it's definitely, I'm pretty sure I've ruled out bias. And here's the speaker safely nestled in its cabinet, and I'm just going to leave that wire like that. It's only, I don't know, 300 volts. Probably what could go wrong. It's probably going to be fine. So well, all seriousness aside, I am going to I'm going to use a Hammond male-female plug for that. So yeah, it's looking good, man. This cabinet doesn't look too bad. Nice. Still in search of that weakness and distortion. I've signal traced this thing all the way through, and it doesn't seem to be distorting anywhere, right up into the speaker output. I did replace that. Look at this thing was, this is the bass control, and look at that. I've never seen anything quite that bad. That's just like, anyways, I got this one in there, and it seems to add some more control, but no joy yet regarding the weak distortion. Time to do a little more research. What you're seeing here is the results of my latest realization that the output transformer is delivering a thin, distorted sound. So this is going to go on the back burner while I collect my tears and save up for either a rewind on that transformer or put something else in there. And what this is was I tacked in a nice Tweed Pro output transformer and the sound was gorgeous. Here's the cool Hammond connector that I got that's going to connect the umbilical cord to the speaker. Just 7-pin. Hey, I got some extra ones for emergencies. All right. Here's the first connector. Wired according to this. Alrighty. Onward to the next connector. Still waiting on that new output transformer. So here's how I prepare the cable. First thing I do is I just peel back a bunch of this outer layer and I reveal that nice inner layer right there of wires. Peel it back nice. Alright. Then just burn it off. Oh yeah. It's good for all you pyros out there. You know who you are. You know who you are. Same guys that eat those urinal mints, I bet. Stop it. Alright, so now I got a pretty good amount of lead. Yeah. Pretty good amount of lead there. Then what I do is a little bit of water thin super glue. Just kind of let it soak in there. That'll hold that stuff from being afraid. Because it's afraid not. Then I got the heat shrink and the rubber grommet there. Next, I just strip those wires. And like that. Alright, I'm going to do them all just like that. And there you have it. Now to seal it up, put it back in the cabinet. This is the remnants of the feet mashed. Look at that. And brittle. Like an old dried up candy bar. I have 4 of these. I'm going to replace them with, oh yeah. And there you have the feet. And now for those of you that have never witnessed field coil nestlage, here it is. There's never going to be a better example of nestlage than that. Original speaker nestled back in with an original cord and a vintage cool connector. I'm liking that handle more and more. That's cool. My Mercury Magnetics output transformer Delivery has been updated. It was originally expected on the 6th. Now they say it's coming on the 4th. So we'll see. Getting a little bit excited. Well, yesterday was very fruitful in the mail department. I got this nice output transformer from Patrick over there at Mercury Magnetics. Nothing's too good for my dog. Nothing but the best for my dog, that is. And also my pal Catfish, on an unrelated note, sent me a 4th nice 7591. Here's something I learned from Uncle Doug. Sugar isn't quite as good as Rusty was with the sniff test, but I'm gonna give her a chance. Let's see, what do you think, Sugar? What do you think of that, huh? What do you think? Is that a good one, Sugar? Is that a good one? Huh? What do you think, Sugar? She's not quite sure about this one. Is that a good transformer, Sugar? Whoop, I saw a little twitch. I don't know. I think she's a little bit out on this one. What do you think, Sugar? Is that a good one? Give it a sniff test here. Get a test. Yeah? Oh, I did get a whale tag. Tail wag, that is. What is that? I think she got shocked as a puppy by some electronic components, because she's nowhere near as astute as Rusty was. Oh well, onward. That's a good girl, Sugar. And here's the poor old tired transformer with its new cousin side by side. Rest well, old warrior. And there's some output transformer nestling going on there. Alright, now to wire it up. For those of you wondering how this works, you have your 4 ohm and your 8 ohm taps here, and your common is right here. So what happens is, when you plug this Echo speaker jack in, see, if there's nothing plugged in, then it goes from the common to this one over here, which is not engaged as you look. You see, that's your 8 ohm. And when you plug in the jack, it pushes that over and shuts that one off. Whoop, and the 4 ohm tap is engaged with the speaker. So that's how that works. And on the schematic lovingly provided by Patrick over at Mercury, you can see the yellow is going to be the 8 and the green is going to be the 4 ohm on this one, which, by the way, the footprint is perfect. Thanks, Patrick. Okay, I'm ready to fire this beast up. I've got the 2 outputs, or sorry, the primaries going. I've just got them clipped in because of sometimes you get them backwards and it makes all this crazy squealing. So before I hardwire this in, I've got everything else hardwired. So, and I got it plugged into my current limiter, and I'm gonna just ease it up a little bit. Here we go. Watching for any glow. Got a faint glow here. Cranking up the voltage. I got my signal generator, and it's up to about 120 now. And ooh, that's nice and loud. Alright, I'm gonna plug a guitar in and listen. I think it sounds pretty good so far. Alrighty, finally one last look through before I button it up. New cap can, new wiring to the cap can. New electrolytics here, stealthily hidden in the nice cool old covers. Ditto that for the bias. Cool new caps there to replace the leaky wax. Got some resistors, some new resistors here and there. I've checked everything. Psi, new output transformer with these shiny wires. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna do something about that cord. That's temporary, that tape, until I can get some heat shrink big enough to fit on there. Gutted all that old crap out of there. The giant caps. Replaced that tone cap and wired this up to 4 and 8 ohms. New AC cord. That's for here. And then of course Theo at Midwest Speakers reconed my original speaker, and so that's about it. I'm going to button this thing up and give it the sound test. Alright, so I was getting a little bit too much hum for me, so I did go ahead and tack in another filtering cap here, and that seemed to help quite a bit. So let's get it re-buttoned up and give it a listen. Alright, so we're going to do a little sound test of this 185. I've got the echo speaker plugged in too to this cool old cabinet from the 50s. And here's the 185. What better to test this late 30s than a 1946 D'Angelico. I do gotta say, there is a little rattle going on somewhere. I haven't determined yet if it's a speaker or not. Either way, I will sort that out. But well, that concludes this lengthy restoration of this 1939-ish 40 Gibson EH-185. Thanks to everyone that was involved directly or indirectly with this. I will list as many people as I can remember in the credits. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps.